This is the Epoch Times.
Welcome to Epoch Audio, showcasing the best journalism covering news, culture, and society, addressing issues overlooked or avoided by other media. For the text version of this and more articles providing truth, tradition, and hope, please go to theepochtimes.com.
Marx Infects Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion by Kevin McGarry. Global multinational powers, institutions, and nation-states have adopted and enshrined diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, as the way to help diversity professions, colleges, and workplaces. A history of racism and inequality has plagued many cultures and societies, so DEI arose as a possible tool to help alleviate the harms and end maltreatment and disparities. As with any tool, DEI should be assessed for its rationality and results. Leaders and citizens both should ask, does DEI help put an end to racial inequalities, or does it worsen and prolong them? Does it truly foster social unity, or does it harmfully produce more division, anger, and disdain? History confirms that Charles Darwin's derelict evolutionary theories profoundly impacted the foundation of racism, supremacy, and inequality. Those theories said that blacks were not equal and instead were equated to apes, gorillas, and savages. Darwin's theories gave scientific justification for treating blacks differently and unequally because blacks were deemed innately inferior. Result? Blacks and all other non-white ethnicities were maligned and viewed as dirty and inferior. Darwin's racist theories profoundly impacted Karl Marx's beliefs. As Marx and Engels considered Darwin a mentor, they integrated Darwinism into Marx's philosophy. Marx accepted Darwin's racist beliefs that humankind evolved over time and in stages, and that the various ethnicities were therefore not created equal. This meant Marx believed that blacks and other ethnicities had innate deficiencies and limitations compared to the ideals he cherished in whites. This turned out to be troubling for Marx. He felt he was superior because he was white, yet his own personal success was miserable. He never measured up to his contemporaries. Instead of taking personal responsibility and becoming more competent and zealous about personal achievement, Marx blamed the capitalist system for his failures. Marx's lifetime of laziness, joblessness, and mooching while fathering 8 children by 2 women created poverty that drove his insatiable bitterness, jealousy, and hate directed at those who attained success and accomplishments. Marx felt self-important by embracing communist philosophy as it forged a movement for social change grounded upon perpetual grievances, collective hate, and unending bitterness. Marxist philosophy said all people are inevitably divided into 2 classes. Marx saw the division as basically the haves versus the have-nots. Marx termed the 2 sides as the exploited class, the proletariat, versus the ruling class, the bourgeoisie. Marx loathed successful people, like the bourgeoisie, as much because of his own bitterness as anything else. He thought history would inevitably lead to a proletarian uprising and takeover to achieve a communist utopia. Marxism expands beyond his grave. To this day, Marx's philosophy encourages the exploited proletariat class to rise up and control or eliminate the bourgeoisie ruling class. Vladimir Lenin and Bolshevik, who launched the late Soviet Union, upshifted Marxism to achieve utopia by mobilizing the masses to undermine capitalism and meritocracy. The Marxist-Leninist movement aims to create a classless society. In practice, this always means a classless communist society where the government owns and runs all productive enterprises, which requires controlling all the people to make sure everyone has equal everything. The Marxist-Leninist idea of equality pivots 180 degrees away from the standards and traditions of equal opportunity and toward a new standard of equal outcome. And outcome is one of DEI's fundamental principles. DEI uses words and methods drawn from the Marxist communist vision. It sensitizes and conditions participants towards an inevitable adoption of tenets of a classless society. Notably, DEI's primary focus upon equity, equal outcomes, means wholesale rejecting of all moral standards of treating people fairly via equal opportunity. Instead, DEI presses for unequal treatment, frankly immoral treatment of people, to produce the hazy vision of equal outcomes. Such equity demands that all identity groups, race, gender, etc., share in equal outcomes, irrespective of competencies, skill, or individual effort. Connecting the historical dots, we see that today's DEI trends are still motivated by neo-Marxian jealousy, animus, and contempt toward people who have zeal for achievement and success based on merit. Since humankind is not made up of robots, every individual is endowed with varying degrees of God-given skills and talents. The wide variations among individuals means several kinds of inequality will always exist. The trends towards measuring everyone based on a scale of equal outcomes, i.e., equal compensation, promotion, and career advancement, irrespective of core competencies, is a scheme straight out of Marx's bitterness about his basically failing life. Marx's demands for equal outcomes were fundamentally designed to usher in his dream of a communist utopia. Without doubt, his arcane and unscrupulous designs for planned economies destroy the power that free markets and meritocracy bring to enrich everyone. Ethically principled environments attempting to incorporate equality, trust, and commitment toward unity are harmed and undermined by neo-Marxist DEI initiatives. Typically, equity is used as a spiked club to mete out retribution and get even with those deemed oppressors or victimizers, namely whites, not to unify. DEI-inspired initiatives can achieve better outcomes by modifying the DEI paradigm and shifting to a more principled DOI mindset, diversity, opportunity, inclusion. Sincere diversity initiatives should create environments that value every individual's life experiences and background while promoting unity and honoring respect. When diversity practices encourage equal opportunity instead of trying to force equal outcomes, organizations can expect improved morale and unity. Designing environments to reflect a commitment to the menagerie of flourishing humanity requires a complete rejection of equity and all its modern-day collectivist communist baggage and accessories. Likewise, diversity's most significant feature is the inspiring of different viewpoints. Working together from different perspectives promotes harmony when tackling problems or attempting to accomplish focused objectives. Actively welcoming criticisms and coordinating different plausible solutions will increase the diversity of ideas within organizational thinking. If all contributors feel their input and perspectives are encouraged, honored, and respected, this can result in a rich, unifying experience for employees. When corporate unity is increased, overall corporate performance should accelerate. A sincere and concerted effort encouraging equal opportunity for people with diversified skills, political leanings, ethnicity, sex, gender, etc., can produce a melting pot of diversity that achieves a pipeline of opportunistic successes. That's what the motto E pluribus unum envisions. The concept of diversity as our strength can become true where race and identity groups are not the focus, but instead social and work environments foster clear and relevant communication, willingly adapt to change and receive diverse input, celebrate the human ability to freely think out loud without fear or judgment, show genuine interest in others and continually commit to building relationships, honor individual differences and value others, actively seek to understand others, and accept accountability for self and others. Such environments achieve the true virtues of diversity. This diversity approach dovetails directly with true inclusion. To best encourage inclusive and diverse environments means moving away from DEI with its equity focus and embracing DOI with an opportunity focus. Universally recognizing and including everyone, regardless of group identity, leads to humanity working together and completely rejecting diabolical theories that foment violence, hatred, and chaos. It's time to reject fallacious and dishonest tropes that separate people into warring camps instead of unifying people. It's time to reject adolescent, unsuccessful theories that divide. As mature adults, we must now fully and with intentionality embrace the reality we can become one united family. Thanks for listening to Epoch Audio. This was Marx Infects Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, written by Kevin McGarry and read for you by Chris Rod. Views expressed in this article are opinions of the author and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Epoch Times.
For more Epoch Times articles in text, please visit theepochtimes.com.
This is the Epoch Times.